Want to do the show or no?
Uh-oh. By the time we actually get around to doing a show, I might forget
Do what?
everything I heard today.
What's that? Oh, this? Oh, the entrance to the show? Yeah. That's fine, whatever. I don't have to pay anybody. Good.
Nice.
And High Time We Talk. Welcome to High Time We Talk.
Nice.
So, it's going to get to the point, Joe, I have to tell you this, where I'm going to probably close the computers off and throw them in the room. That's eventually.
Hey, go easy on Joe.
I'm trying
You're
to...
talking to Joe Williams.
I'm going to play pinata with mine.
The other guy here, he's a computer tech, been in the business 25 years. He's going to use his as a pinata. Well, that's where this is all going, Joe. So, but I appreciate the call, because if it gets any worse, what do we got? You know, it's just going to become a setup, ain't it?
The bumper of a semi.
He's a hell of a guy for going all these rounds with you.
Tell him thanks. Thanks for
Thanks,
everything.
Joe. Appreciate it. Would have been good for the show.
I got a little bit of it, only a little bit.
A little bit of it.
Yeah.
Since when does Windows call you, Tom?
I know, huh? Apple didn't fucking call me.
Windows setup call, I'll call it. So when somebody downloads porno on my thing, I'm going to give them this guy's name.
I Googled him, it was Tuxedo, New York.
Because that's the fear I have, is that somebody throws some porno on your computer, and then you get a visit. That's what I think this call is about. That's why I really mean those things are going in the river.
Really?
Don't you think, Tom, eventually?
People trying to break in?
No?
It's overreacting.
You?
Thought I heard
I
something.
think it's a possibility they would do.
All they have to do is want to.
They will do things like that.
Of course they will.
They probably already are, but
So, I thought that was pretty cool. It was a good call.
But since when did they call you to tell you
they
that?
call now.
Why, is something more than I know coming?
Nah, he's somebody that sells some
He must
kind
sell
of... Yeah,
something.
sells something.
I couldn't get that.
You know what? You never got that far. He's probably going to sell you cloud service, backup cloud service.
Is that what it
Or
is?
some-
Okay.
Or
let's
some
just-
sort of...
Whenever
Let me make one
Windows,
statement.
Google, anybody...
I got something I want to say.
What?
We're driving cross country. No, we're flying cross country. We're going to have all our data backed up.
Yeah.
One
yeah.
safe place in the cloud. All right, they started using this.
You out of your fucking
Are
mind.
you out of your fucking tree?
Yeah,
One safe place in the cloud.
Right. Oh, no, man. It's safe because it's encrypted.
Yeah, it's safe in the cloud.
It's safe because it's encrypted.
It doesn't say it's encrypted. They
Can you
say
imagine that?
so that little children will just grow up with this concept.
Well, that's what
There's
they're.
one
That's what
safe
they're doing.
place
They're
in the
never going
cloud.
to get us to join.
There's
the
no
cloud.
safe encryption.
They'll make it
And
eventually
ain't nothing.
so that there's things that you can't do
Oh, I never
without
went with
the
I
cloud.
might not go with the cloud.
You want to take a classic
It's one
example?
safe place in the cloud.
Want to take a classic example? For
We're flying cross
for
country.
years I've done
We have to have our
computer
data back.
photography and
What do you
computer
do?
art.
You
Right?
Mine.
Get this, Mr. Axeman. For years, I've done computer photography and computer art, and I've used Photoshop. I've been a faithful Photoshop user for many, many years. You cannot upgrade Photoshop anymore without buying a cloud subscription, and you get the new, updated version. Everything done on Photoshop is through the cloud.
So you're being pigeonholed into the cloud.
They're going to do this with everything, and I've already decided
You know
that
where else they pigeonhole you?
I've already decided that what I use is what I'm using, and I'm not going to advance
You know where else they
with
do
the
it?
technology.
Let's name all the places.
I've just
they
decided
force you.
that was that's my pet peeve statement, that buzz term. My pet peeve buzz term. Okay? It's one safe place in the cloud.
Oh, I don't blame you.
Even saying
Like-
it
like
makes
we're
me
safe
think
now.
you're gay.
Do you
It's
know-
safe now.
Do you
Are
know
you okay?
something? Me and my kids had this exact discussion driving home yesterday after listening to that
Are there
commercial.
going to be any men left?
And
Well, he's being manly
One of
in the
the-
commercial. He's protecting their information.
See, well,
and
this,
she says,
yeah.
and she did.
You don't need a gun then in America. You just got to know about the cloud.
She says
you can be
well,
a
it
good,
must be
safe
expensive then.
metrosexual that way.
Well, he's being a very
trying to
manly
eliminate
metrosexual. That's a very macho metrosexual who's going to back up their data
Metro Man.
by saving it to
Metro
a
Man.
place in the cloud.
It's Metro Man.
Metro Macho
Now,
Man.
see,
Everything
see
will be safe in the cloud.
what ended up happening when we were having this
Scissors.
conversation yesterday,
Scissors.
Caesars.
and
I know you got scissors.
Senor, you got
what ended up happening was it evolved to everything being scooped up, all the data that's out there, and maybe not being used at that moment, but saving for when it was necessary. Right?
I'm going to show you what's missing in America today. Now,
Is that an Italian goat?
It's not Italian goat. This is what's missing in America today.
Balls.
Can you guys see that on the radio? That's what we're
These are
missing right
actually the
here.
balls, so
This
the
is
eggs.
what we're doing. Yeah,
These are the balls.
that's what I was trying to point out.
Balls.
No, the Italian goat's on the other side of the
Balls.
You know, like
But
that.
so anyway, back to this very serious thing here, actually. So then I decided that what they do is periodically, because you know that this new data storage facility in Utah, they had to start a new
Shut off the water.
They have
I had
the,
this dream.
they have
Shut
their
off
own
the
water
water.
system.
Shut off the water to the
But Delaware wanted to do that at Fort Meade. But they have a new, what am I saying? A new storage unit. They're petabytes. And they said
sure are.
this has 93 petabytes or 93 million petabytes. But what it is 7 stacks of 64 gigabyte iPhone
So those are the
5s
files they have?
from here to the moon.
petabytes,
That-
files.
That's how much.
You know where I'm going with this?
I think
That's
I'm
how
hearing
much.
you.
No,
Are
no.
you trying to say they're
Don't
pedophiles?
even say that if
know where we're
they
headed
store
with
those
this?
petabytes.
Because this is all
Pedophiles.
encoded. It's all
So
encrypted
they'll
in
be-
your head. Just to
they'll be-
understand.
They'll be asking
You know
each
what?
other.
I bet you all them
shorten-
files are probably going to have all the little
They'll
naked
shorten the
kids on them.
petabyte files to, hey, where's the pedophile?
Well,
Guys, have the pedophiles
yeah,
down?
pedophiles.
but now it brought to my mind
Oh, you pedophiles, get in this room. We got to talk.
to take an exact snapshot of the internet, right? To grab all the data that's right there in one shot. How much do you need? How many petabytes?
Well, this is getting
How many
mind-blowing.
pedophiles do you need? Well, are you trying to say that
A trigabyte of it, probably.
that you
I just
really
made that up. I
actually
don't
want-
know.
Nah, petabytes are the
you actually
biggest
want
ones.
to hire a
Oh,
pedophile?
really? Trigabytes aren't bigger than a petabyte?
No.
Petabyte?
Are you trying to say that one pedophile isn't enough for you?
No, I'm going to say that if they have
A
to
logic
make,
tile. That's the biggest you can
if
get.
they have to make something bigger than a petabyte, it's probably going to be a prick-a-fight.
Maybe just a
Prick-a-byte.
pickle fight.
Prick-a-byte.
What is bigger than a pedophile?
A prick-a-byte.
What is Tom?
Michael Jackson.
How much pets can a pet
Michael
file
Jackson.
have? If a pet
Did
file-
you hear?
It's bigger than a pedophile.
I heard some
Michael
stupid
Jackson.
Michael Jackson
Some accent.
news yesterday.
Michael Jacksonite.
I heard some stupid Michael Jackson news. A guy
So
wanted
who
to
invented
use,
these pedophiles,
a
Tom?
guy wanted
I gotta
to
hear
use
this.
Michael Jackson's face as a likeness.
That's what
For
looks
God's
like. I mean,
sake.
that Italian goat looks like
Tom,
Michael
can they
Jackson,
save
for
these
Christ's sake.
pedophiles in the cloud or what?
No, they're harvesting the cloud for pedophiles.
Harvesting
They are.
pedophiles
Did you hear
in the cloud. I'm
This is
listening to
new.
what's going
I
on.
can't believe this is happening.
So anyway, that's as much
Harvesting pedophiles in
information
the cloud.
as 7 stacks of iPhone 5s from
So
here
what's
to
it
the
take to
moon.
harvest a pedophile from the cloud?
Steve Jobs.
A little kid.
Just a snapshot of a pedophile in the cloud.
If we start talking about Bill Gates,
You know, if you
we're
take
gonna have to start
everything,
talking
all their
about-
new terminology, and you talk it like that, it makes it almost like, oh my God, what are you talking about? Picture of a criminal who deals with kids. in front
But
of a
seriously,
class.
seriously,
It does fit in its own way. It's encoded to make you think, oh my
why
God, we're out
would
of
you
our minds.
have such massive storage unless you're not collecting and saving everything for when you need to use it? You know what I
Okay,
mean?
I agree.
You might
I completely
not,
agree.
You might not do something for another 20 years. You stand up, open your mouth, and somebody pulls out your whole life. Remember when my son brought up when this generation
Right.
grows up and runs for president.
They'll pull your file.
They'll pull his
Take
Facebook
everything.
file
What
from
did
when
that
he was 12
Zuckerberg
years
guy
old.
say about a year ago?
Same thing.
He said basically they're a bunch of dumb MFers, talking
Yeah.
about the people who join Facebook. You know why they're dumb MFers? Because they're working real hard to do what you're doing, but there's people working real hard to do it for them every day on Facebook. Every fucking day. Here's my whole life I was strung out.
See,
But the slant,
there are some of us though.
that's why he called the dumb MFers.
He did?
People, yeah, he called
Yeah.
everybody on Facebook a bunch of dumb MFers.
You know what he's
made
talking
billions off of them.
Tom,
Zuckerberg?
Yeah.
how many times have you seen so and so, a good bass player friend of ours,
It's time to
Is-
start talking about Zuckerberg on Facebook.
is at Foxwood Casino mixing this band,
Right.
or at dinner with the one I love here.
Right.
And there's a map with a pinpoint showing where that person was at that moment. How many times, and not just that one person, people across the fucking boards. I had a couple guys, good friends, well, friends when I was a kid, but I still see him around every now and then. Him and his brother took a trip across country. I knew every fucking stop.
Yeah.
Pictures,
You know what? Guess what?
pictures, pinpoint.
You knew where they
everything.
weren't, and that was at their house, right?
Right.
They're not at their house.
But
okay?
30 years
So
from now,
let's say
someone
that.
can pinpoint exactly where
Tom,
they were.
let's say that you wanted
Right.
something from their house and you were a criminal. Couldn't you just now go to their house? I mean, they're on, we'd just say, a cross-country tour. They ain't coming back for a couple
Well,
weeks. Got all
what you
week.
don't understand is, before they left, they backed up all your information to one safe place in the cloud.
No, I can't do that.
Every
But
file?
see,
Every pet
File.
file.
See, look at this though. Is at such and such a restaurant in St. Paul, Missouri. Well, I know they ain't making it back to Springfield, Massachusetts anytime tonight. Right?
Yeah.
Or, what about this? Say you want to trump up somebody for a 20-year-old murder charge.
It
And
was
you
all
go
shit.
back through Facebook, you type in
Yeah.
a search on people
Right.
from out of town who are in
Oh,
that
Forget it,
area.
forget it,
Let's
forget it.
just bring it back a little bit for you. Let's say you're helping a friend move a bed on a second-story window. A window comes crashing down, crushes your penis.
There was no Facebook when it happened.
No Facebook, but now, if that story got out on Facebook, on the news at night, it'd be a picture of you from your Facebook page with your crushed penis.
Of course.
Well, yeah,
You
if
know.
that happened now, and
Yeah,
I mean,
can
there
think
would,
about the world.
there would be pictures of the crushed penis, pictures of the board.
That's what I'm saying.
This leads right
This is
into
where I'm
putting
headed
files
with
on
this.
people's computers, pornographic pedophile files on people's computers, and then prosecuting them for
Exactly. This is not
child
going
pornography. And it's all leading to that happy land. In
Same-
the cloud.
Same thing with what same
Happy
thing with
land
what
in
I'm
the cloud.
saying about all
Everything's
that
safe in the
data.
cloud.
Kid gets abducted. We're going to open up a 10-year-old case 10 years from now.
All
Oh,
of that,
Jack
yeah.
so-and-so was in St. Paul, Missouri from Springfield, Massachusetts. And look, we can make this data fit and this data fit. And if we just put a few files on his computer now with an old date timestamp on them from that time, we got him. They can do anything now with this shit.
Well, getting back to Zuckerberg, there's something going on with Google. Glenn Beck.
Well, yeah.
He's interviewing
Glenn Beck was having his-
Eric Schmidt and the other
right,
guy.
and
Why?
he's having his period.
So,
he's a little
whenever
nervous
you go
about
on
it.
Glenn Beck, it's because you got to make Middle America love you again somehow. You
Well,
got to repair shit. or
Glenn Beck
something.
is
Damage control.
Glenn Beck is having his period, so he's really nervous about
Is he?
interviewing.
Well, I can understand that very well.
Yeah, but in fairness to him, and I don't like him. To me, he's the puffy little doughboy that he used to be, always will be. But, and it's not I don't like his values or his ideas. I just simply
You just don't like that
like
he turned
him.
on the
Look,
liberal.
what's the guy's name from Google?
Eric Schmidt.
Eric Schmidt. Right.
He's been a
Interviewing
keynote.
Schmidt.
He's been a
Schmidt.
keynote speaker at the last
Right,
three
he's been-
Bilderberg
Al Schmidt.
conferences.
He's been right. He's the whole new
Schmidt.
right. The whole new trend in Bilderberg.
He's been in the White House
Right.
millions of
What color is
times.
the house?
Because Google is, it is CIA.
It's the new NSA.
It's the new NSA.
Yeah.
All of those are combined. They only separate the
Diane
numbers for us.
Feinstein supports that.
Well, that's because she wants all of her information
I
backed
look
up.
at
to one safe place
Turn in your
in the
gun.
cloud.
Look at, I've used it twice during the show.
What, the cloud?
Google.
You ever Google? When you Google the cloud, yeah.
No, that causes like an implosion.
So what
A
you're saying,
black
Tom, let's
hole.
get back to this Idaho data collection center. They can take Utah. They can take a snapshot of
Well, that's what I'm thinking. They could.
a petabyte, gigabyte.
I'm thinking they got enough storage space there. They can just take periodic snapshots of the whole internet, along with harvesting emails. So
Oh,
every
fuck.
website,
They can
every
take everything.
web page.
They can take everything.
Exactly.
Everything.
You use compression
Everything
routines,
forever.
compression,
Everything.
And-
Shut off the fucking
and
water.
they can use it.
Shut the fucking water off. Shoot the fucking drones down.
They got-
Wake up from your fucking dream. Stop listening to us busting your fucking ass because you're so fucking stupid. And start getting some high-powered rifles.
That's
Because you're
why-
going to need high-powered rifles to shoot the fucking drones down. And if you don't shoot the drones
know
down,
what? You
then
know-
you fucking you
They're making a
deserve
law
the
now.
fucking.
If you shoot a drone and touch it,
Of course.
20 years in prison.
That's right.
Yeah. They're trying to
So
protect
you know what you do then?
Shoot them down anyway.
You launch
the drones again.
tinfoil balls.
They just make tinfoil hats.
No, just balls of tinfoil. It screws up the electronics.
Is that true?
Yeah.
You launch it at the drone?
That's
Yeah,
basically in that movie. That's what it's called, chaff. And they've been doing it for years. And originally, all the chaff was.
I mean, that's what got released from the plane to block the missiles?
Yes, but that was an electronic form of it.
Oh,
to
I
just
see.
jam the signal.
So it jams the signal.
Yeah, and it
So-
causes the missile to detonate early or veer
Or
off
veer
course
off.
or what have
But it could have still hit him technically.
Yeah, I mean, chaff
But-
isn't foolproof. I'm
Right.
sure electronic chaff is.
But when it's locked onto it, stops. Right?
If a large enough group.
So what you're saying is, if that technology's been around a while, couldn't you develop that at your home? Your little mini chaff systems? And won't they sell well?
Sure.
You would think?
Sure.
You can jam signals to all this
Drone
stuff?
jammers. Wow, sounds like a name for a good,
You know
good
what's
name
weird
for
too?
a band, huh?
You know,
the
drone jammers. Nice. Somebody's gonna start that.
Yeah, I know. I just put it in the
But-
fucking cloud.
He did. I
It's
saw a
on forever
thing
now.
on InfoWars. They had this like a seminar for guys to build their drones and stuff. And they had a bunch of other guys come that had computers that try to hack them, and they'd be there on a laptop and they take control of the drones. So there's technology's out there.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think the lay people, America's a pretty smart place.
Somebody ought to make an app for it. An instant drone jamming app from your phone. Somebody ought to make all these subversive apps for all the different makes of phones and put them
I
on.
would imagine
What was that
somebody's
guy in
probably
Australia
going
saying today?
Oh, he said that if America loses its Second Amendment rights and America falls and loses its gun, that the world will fall out.
Guy in Australia said that.
Who was it? Kim.com?
No, Ian something, I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
Just a guy from
Yeah.
Australia said it.
He has a radio show out in Australia.
So-
he says Australia, their culture is different than ours, where they were a prison culture.
Right.
Put on an island. And he goes, they don't have like a constitution bill of rights of us. They have no memory in their memory core DNA. They have no memory of freedom and liberty. And
They
things
only
like
got
we
it as an
do.
offshoot from us.
Yeah,
He said
but-
when they took their guns, they had an incident just like Sandy Hook. He said it was just it happened a few years back, and they took every gun out of there. It was
He
easy
did,
to do.
huh?
Yeah, and he goes and he named Sandy Hook as another operation, just similar to the one that had their guns taken in there. And now, from what I hear, just the new news today is that they said 375,000 high capacity weapons they were known to be sold in Connecticut. 50,000 people registered. They thought up to about 133,000.
And they say,
Hike.
We got a caller.
Hello. Hello.
I'll divert.
It's not nothing. I just pocket dialed you. It's a stupid fucking phone. Calls anybody that wants.
No, it's not a stupid phone. It's a smartphone.
It's a smartphone. Smart fucking phone. Calls anybody that wants.
After all, you still have to stay part of the system in order to compete, to survive, to know what they're doing. You have to do what they're doing. You have to do what they're doing to know how they do it, to know how to not have it done to you. Let's go back to Facebook, right? You see what I put up. all innocuous shit, you know? You go back and look at my history of posts, you just think I'm a crazy old guy. A crazy guy who's getting older. Who likes to post goofy pictures of himself. Or,
I'm playing right into their hands.
yeah, no you're not.
Oh, yeah.
No you're not. You're establishing what you want them to know.
It doesn't matter. It'll all be used against them.
So,
I never finished saying that 50,000 people registered their guns with the Connecticut thing when they had that registration. And you know how they said the registration, then confiscation? You've always heard that terminology? They're really shy, but they said that, you know, the government can bring gun owners who they think have guns to court. But they'll get jury trials. And they don't think anybody would ever convict legal gun owners for just not registering their guns. And the amount of money it would take to do that. So it's almost like a big old protest saying, no, we're not. 50,000 people registered, 50,000 guns got registered, but they're shy, maybe 100, a couple 100,000.
People just didn't
go, no, they didn't
Good.
go.
Good.
Yeah, so, and now they're saying,
How do they really know that? You know?
I don't know how they know it. Well, yeah, because they know there's
They
more
know
than
that, then they
50,000
know-
guns
then they know
in
who.
Connecticut, so.
They know who. If they know that, they know who too.
That's probably true. So they know, they could bring everybody up, but they said no
Yeah.
jury will
it's in a
convict.
massive database somewhere
Yeah.
where the person...
Matter in fact,
It's in the cloud, Tom.
You got to remember, right now, you know,
liberal fact
you know what the
citizens
big
would
flaw
convict.
in this whole computer
Look at
system...
Massachusetts and Connecticut, liberal fact citizens would convict.
No, not usually, no.
It
Boston?
depends.
I don't think so.
You think if you got caught in
I wouldn't
Boston?
want to be in Boston, no.
Yeah.
But out here on the western side of the state, things are a little
I doubt it.
I don't know.
I doubt it.
it's not completely
It's all
liberal.
how you pick the jury.
You get one guy like him or me or somebody from Munson or Granville or Palmer or Ware or Wales, Buckland, Ashfield.
And you know what? If I ever sat on a jury like that, I'd try to become the jury leader.
I think
To try to make sure this guy's safe.
I think everybody in Brimfield.
That's the
owns a
last
gun.
power we got.
It is.
There's voting with your wallet, probably more powerful than
You
actually
don't have the
voting
right to
the booth.
vote.
No, you see,
The right to vote
the
means
Second Amendment is the protectorate of all the others.
is all it is.
That's what that guy meant from Australia. He said basically Australians, they go to state parks and to the beach a lot. Like that's their real world. They have no rights. And in the city, life ain't good. But for the most part, if you live on the outskirts, you go to the state park.
Yeah, you remember too.
So,
There's
you
like,
know what's funny? This
Outback
morning I
is
see
totally lawless.
I looked on Drudge, right?
like living in the Old West.
And the guy was right. 700 people hit the beach in this big naked thing they're trying to break from last year when they all jumped in the ocean naked. So they are a culture of just a bunch of people low, like the Massachusetts, the New England liberals would love living there. But that's not the country we want.
No, I think they
No, I
they're
think
still like
it's
the
too
Wild
tough
West
for 'em.
kind. They're like California.
Who is? Australia?
They're
Yeah.
like California.
They're
More
not
like
armed.
California
They're
than
not
New England.
armed, but they feel free, and they have they have the freedom to do shit. So they just do shit.
Guy said
They
they're one
don't
of the most
have any
suppressed
rights.
cultures. They don't have any rights.
They don't have any rights, but they can go fuck around and get drunk and
Yeah, you can go out-
and drive a fucking 4-wheeler.
You can go out
Right,
into
right,
the
right.
outback.
Have a lot of fun.
You can have
and never
fun.
think about the fact that you don't have any rights, and who gives a shit if you're having enough fun?
That's true. It's almost like some big
Point
redneck
is, they're a
circus
lot-
culture.
There-
Very
there's-
much like Americans. They're very
There's a
much
whole lot of like
Yeah.
the old
They
Wild
feel
West that
liberty,
you could live.
even though they don't have it.
Yeah.
They feel liberty
Right,
because they
right.
still live in the wild. They still have the wild. They have the outback. They have the aborigines. They have the wild. It's a wild place that they were thrown down to.
Yeah.
And they're all the descendants of freaking criminals. The
Right.
criminals are a whole lot more fun than the rest of the people.
Pretty much, yeah.
Basically, you get a better bunch of people to descend from criminals than you would politicians or people, law enforcement or military or any of that. Well, fuck them. They're all fucking nuts. So that's why you got such a good population down there. You got good people down there because they just like to have fun. Now, they should be allowed to have their guns too.
I'm sure there's a lot of guns that ain't nobody going out into them desert stretches and taking.
You know who the
guns from people.
one gun salesman of the year again?
Who's that?
What do you guys think?
Smith and Wesson.
Who's the gun salesman again for, I think it's like the 6th year in a row? Barack Obama. He has inspired more gun sales than any president ever. They call him Salesman of the Year, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
People are scared.
All the
People are
guns. Yeah,
scared.
if you bought stock in Smith and Wesson a few years back, you're rolling
Really?
right now. Yeah.
Really?
Things have just.
See, you know what my
right.
my
Right now,
plan
yeah.
is? When all the people, when the shit hits the fan, and all the people who bought guns who don't really know how to use them get killed off, I'm going to take them.
Wayne used to say that. He goes, all you need is one gun to get.
One gun.
Yeah,
As many guns as you want.
Many guns as one.
That's all I'm going to do. I just go wait for all the dummies to get killed off, go take their weapons, their guns, all their bullets are going to become the
They're
most
going to
valuable
regionally
commodity.
go through. They're going to go through regions, but it is a big fucking job to take all the guns from all the people in this country.
Don't you think there'll be a civil war touched, or at least a fighting
Yeah.
war with
Yeah.
the
It's an
confiscators?
impossible job. If the people don't give the guns up,
Right.
they cannot be taken away. That's fucking impossible.
And,
You couldn't do it.
and think of how many law enforcement people are going to say, no, wait a minute.
Or
I'm a
the
fucking
sheriffs.
gun owner.
Right.
I'm a gun owner. What's going to say they're going to take theirs, then they're going
You
to
see
take
When you
mine.
retire from the force, something you're going to be in the same boat as the people who are taking
The
guns.
military's the same way. At least half of it is going to turn and say, I'm sorry, I can't do this.
You know
'cause
what's weird?
it's me.
Don't. I remember, I almost
Half
feel...
of them will,
This is
though.
how, remember when I said I think Obama's going to be elected the second term, and I said I think it's good, and it sounded crazy, and I almost feel it still is a little bit, but we're climbing this hill where Obama's trying all this stuff. I think we're almost cresting the top where people are going, are you kidding? You know, because they have a DNA, like that Australian guy was like, we have a heritage, we have a memory, we have of freedom,
Gun.
liberty, guns, stuff like that. That's why Piers Morgan fell. That's why the mainstream
Hey,
media,
That deserves
they
to be brought
get
up here.
MSNBC, Tom, will get 370,000 listeners, we're just saying it today on the radio, in a night, where a local radio station like in Dallas will get 80,000, almost a quarter, but they're only in Dallas. They're going worldwide, only getting 370,000 listeners. On any given day, you can go on the InfoWars, you get 3 million people tuned in.
Drudge gets 6
It's
million
over,
a day.
Tom, people. Anybody. We're not talking about the dunderheads who do, they
Yes,
ask
but you see,
in California on the beach, hey, no, not
the
those.
minority is backed by the machine.
The minority is backed by the machine.
the
Exactly.
media
Very
machine,
point.
the powers
Right.
that be in Washington.
And the low informational side of everybody who they don't get the news from the news. They get the news from the news.
From the news machine.
Yes, like Kardashian's ass won't stop growing when you're leaving the supermarket. That's the news to
The news today was on People magazine,
People magazine now.
huge cover with 2 shots of Kim Kardashian with a huge, magnificently huge ass, and a big headline was, Kim's ass won't stop growing. Isn't that it?
Google that. I want to verify that.
I need
Kim's
to
ass
know
won't
that.
You know what I mean, Tom? But her ass won't stop growing because why? Her ass obviously does some thinking.
But I want to ask this
It's got its own
question.
brain. It has probably its own mouth for eating.
I want to ask the same question you just asked, because why?
Why?
But change it around to like, why do I care?
Well, I know that, but like, you know how like, you know, when you're always making fun of how they don't ever give you nothing worth any news, and you make up some
Well-
funny thing about Kim Kardashian. I mean, they literally do that in the literal sense. That's how they keep you away from all this
That's
other news.
actually why I do and should care.
Yeah, but
is
her ass was
because-
huge. You wouldn't believe
No,
this
it's
picture.
because it's a
It
smoke
was
screen.
enormous. I mean, it was huge. Holy
It's because
shit.
it's a smoke screen, and I won't call people low information. Just a whole lot of
Why don't
people.
you just call them no information?
No, no, no,
Because they're
they're
not
just-
getting any.
There's a
And
whole
maybe not even be their fault.
Who's the
for
guy
God's
they
sake.
threw that had to go back to England now? What's his name?
Piers Morgan.
Piers
Morgan,
Morgan.
you know.
That
Every-
deserves, can we at least all say in reference to Piers Morgan, a big fuck you?
Hey, goodbye. Go back.
Fuck you.
Go back.
Thank you for leaving
You never did. You
Take
didn't.
a long walk off a
Take a
short
fucking
pier.
long walk out.
I'll
Nice
give
to
him
have
the
you
biggest
go.
compliment I can. You made absolutely no difference in my life while you were here.
The most reprehensible, snot-nosed, sniveling little sissy boy of a little English.
He can say what he
fucking
wants. He
jerk
means
off.
nothing. He can't even hurt
Thank
me.
you for leaving. Thank you.
You know, the biggest
How
night he
did
got
you
for
ever
viewership
fucking
was
last
when
here
Alex
so long?
Jones was on debating him about gun control. You know why? Because like a lot of Alex Jones people watched.
You know what his credentials were before he came to CNN? He was a judge on Dancing with the Stars or one of them freaking shows.
So he was
That's what I
experienced.
thought.
He got a lot of experience.
Yeah.
He's a smart guy.
So he did. He was
Or America's
He
Got
worshipped
Talent, one of them.
Kim Kardashian's ass, and that's.
America's got.
But again, I'm glad you went back to that. It brings up a good point. The reason we should care is because most people, some people have larger capacity to be bombarded with information than others. But most people, in addition to worrying about your daily life, your bills, the kid's sick, the job sucks, this, that, the other thing, the fucking lawnmower's broke, my dishwasher's leaking, now I got Kim Kardashian's ass and Piers Morgan being kicked out of America, and that's about all I can handle. And what? The president of Ukraine's on the run. The president of Ukraine's on the run, and they're going to try him for murder. I give a fuck about that.
the most important one.
Right. But I give a fuck about that. They say Kim Kardashian's ass is huge, and that's easier to think about, right?
No, it's not that it's huge, Tony. It won't stop growing.
Yeah, it won't stop growing.
It's growing. No one knows why.
No one knows
You
when
see-
it'll
you
stop.
see
But I
the
believe
point?
they're going to have some. I think
You see
MIT
the point?
scientists may be looking into
They
studying her
bombard
ass.
people with so much shit that
You're absolutely right.
people tend
That is the whole point.
they flush out the important stuff because that's too hard to think about. And that's
So-
way over on the other side of the world. That don't affect me. Yes, it does.
So while the freaking Olympics are going on, you got a freaking political coup
You have a political
In
coup
Ukraine.
in
Ukraine.
it's not in Russia, but it's an
pulled
offshoot.
off by the
And the last
Eastern
thing
EU.
thing I heard was Putin had Russian Marines en route.
Hello.
I hope he fucking
Remember I told
kicks
you it was going to
fucking
come
ass,
from
man. You do it. You know he's going to. You know he's going to kick motherfucking ass.
This is
Because
indirect
They
NATO.
interrupted. They interrupt. Let me tell you something. All right. There's only two actual men with testicles left on the planet Earth. One is Putin, and the other one is our friend Benny Netanyahu in Israel. They both have testicles. Their testicles still work. Putin is going to destroy them because they interrupted his Olympics. And this is more
No,
important to him.
it's even worse than that.
No, it's not.
But it's still
No, it's not.
It's all about that.
It's all about
You have a
that.
Russian-looking hat on today.
Let me tell you something. The fact that they had the balls and the disrespect
I know.
to bother him when
During-
he just wanted
he's
to
on
have
stage.
one fucking moment in history,
That's right.
he's going
He's
to
fuming out. I can-
annihilate
I can-
them.
I can
He's going
sense
to
that.
annihilate them.
You think
Right? The way a leader of a country should. He's not going to fuck around with him. He ain't going to fucking talk to him. He's not going to negotiate shit. He's going to annihilate.
Okay, well, we can get by that part. But now what happens after the annihilation?
Who gives a fuck as long as
No,
he
you
wins?
get ready.
As long as he
He's
wins.
going to win, but I want to ask you, what do you think the repercussions from this?
Just means people are going to understand that you don't fuck around with fucking Putin.
I understand that, but you're not still getting the repercussions very hard. There's
Okay.
going to
Just
be
as
immense
great.
propaganda in America about this. Propaganda.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You know, that's the first thing that's going to happen. They say, this guy is
You're absolutely
tyrannical. What's he doing? Because they're slanting what they did. They were the ones who destabilized the country, the Eastern Union.
This is very much
Syria
like the way
don't play
the Second
ball, we
World
invade
War
them.
is set up.
Yeah,
This is
Iraq,
the
we
setting
got
up of
them.
the
We
Third
got
World War.
Afghanistan.
Exactly.
They want him arrested. Victor Yanukovych arrested for the mass murder of peaceful
Who wants him now?
civilians.
Who wants him?
The new government that
The new
took
government,
over.
which is the EU, the one they just installed,
Arsen
which Putin doesn't
Abakov,
recognize.
who is
Well, he's not.
the,
Nobody's going to recognize him.
he's the acting interior minister. He's gone. They don't know where he is. Criminal case.
They had
of
to run
mass
out of there
murder.
quickly. But I believe that the Ukrainian people, they're caught.
He was
I don't
last
think
seen
they
in the
want. I just
Crimea.
think they want freedom, like we used to want in America, liberty in their own country.
Now, while we're reading the headlines here, did you hear about Chuck Hagel's Pentagon cuts?
No.
He's cutting the Army back to pre-World
Yeah.
War II levels.
They're just setting
cutting
us up to
everything
lose,
down.
like that.
Did you hear what happened in Uganda? Not only is homosexuality illegal, now they're actively targeting
I heard that in
for
India.
arrest. Venezuela, huge anti-government protests in Caracas. El Chapo, the big Mexican drug kingpin, was arrested. Egypt's government resigned, making the way for Field Marshal Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to declare his candidacy for president. Harold Ramis died. One of the guys in Ghostbusters, used to write for Saturday Night Live. Iraq signed an arms deal with Iran. The EU is going to debate making prostitution totally illegal. Everything else is boring.
Bobby, oh,
factory
sounded Indian there.
The world just keeps on turning and spinning around Kim Kardashian's magnificent but beautiful.
Yes, but it will not stop going. It was on Piers Morgan today, that Kim Kardashian's, but will not stop going.
Piers Morgan tried to disarm Kim Kardashian's ass.
So you don't
Her ass
need an ass
fuck.
that big in it.
Her
A
ass
meteorite
back.
smashed into the moon.
Oh, that's news. That's new.
You know what I
The
love the other
largest
day?
lunar impact ever
You know what I
recorded.
loved the other day? When you read that thing about the gun sitting on the porch.
Yeah, that was good.
Can you get that back up?
Oh, sure can.
Do that. Read that motherfucker, because that was great.
John
And
Recite.
John Dingle from Michigan is retiring
Recite
after
for us.
58 years
I don't know.
as a
Anyway, yeah,
representative.
that was interesting. That made a point.
Right, I'm in
And
the middle
then,
of
but don't do it like you did when you read it. Say, what do you think? What part of the country does this come from? What do you
And
think?
now, ladies and gentlemen,
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Piers Morgan.
the natural
Piers
proud
is
in his
back.
ass.
I am back, and
The natural
I've changed
man.
my views on things.
It's
and
actually-
I decided to become pro-gun.
It's
So
actually-
I have a
like
guest
now.
on today. I have the computer man
The
on
natural
today,
man.
and the natural
not
man.
not the computer.
Oh, do I gotta-
not the corporate.
Do I gotta
Oh,
do this as a
no.
character?
No, the natural
No,
man
this
will now speak.
this is now my new
Now
view
the natural man
on
will
guns and gun control.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I
the
could
natural
use a
man.
spot of a drink before I do this.
Get him a drink.
It's
Get him
gonna
a
do
drink.
English
I'll
now.
use a spot.
They said just do it
We'll go
American.
dry.
This Jews more.
The natural man, not your corporate fiction.
I will be peeing during this on
All right. Guns don't kill people. Yesterday, I placed my shotgun on the front porch. I gave it 6 shells and, noticing it had no legs, placed it in a wheelchair to help it get around. While I was gone, the mailman delivered my mail. The boy across the street picked up my yard. A girl walked her dog down the street, and quite a few cars stopped at a stop sign near my house. After 10 hours, I checked on the shotgun. It had not rolled outside, and it had not killed anyone in spite of the many opportunities that had been presented. Can you imagine how surprised I was with all the hype about how dangerous guns are and how they kill people? Either the killing is by people misusing guns, or I'm in possession of the laziest gun in the world. So now, I'm off to check my spoons because I hear they make people fat. So where would you suggest that this writer came from?
Of course, I couldn't say for sure.
Did you
I
finish?
would strongly
Okay.
suggest this.
And did you say who
It
it
was
was
a very
from? Or
great
part of?
wisdom. Great.
You don't think it's a boy that sounds like this? It's a little bit shaggy looking and maybe drives a pickup
So the
truck?
guy's from.
No, this fellow's from Windsor Locks, Connecticut.
Yeah. Here's one for us. So everybody from the rest of the country thinks everybody from this area is just a bunch of, libtarded California
Libtards?
style. It ain't happening.
Libtards.
Are you afraid to say
You northeastern
pussies?
libtard.
Yeah.
Hey,
I was
hey,
veering
go
off
on.
from there, but
Hey,
Pussies.
yo, I'm talking to you.
Notice I didn't swear much.
Are you a northeastern libtard? Hey, I'm talking to you, son. You kind of some kind of northeastern
no, I am
libtard.
not. I am from England, sir. Isn't that weird the way they're kind of
Northeastern libtard?
as an NELT.
I may not swear, but I'm probably going to say something insensitive, which is what keeps me from submitting this show to iHeartRadio.
What's that?
Well, you can't have, like, hate speech or things.
Like we have.
insensitive. Like,
Yeah, we'll never get
like, maybe if we didn't elect faggot, bloated, big mouth congressmen, or just pure idiots repeatedly,
Rapunzel?
they might have a higher opinion of this section of the country.
Right. Beautiful.
Look what we've had in.
Bush, Clinton, Bush, nigga, Bush, Clinton, Bush, Bush, Clinton, Bush, nigga, Bush, Clinton, Bush, Bush, Clinton, Bush, nigga, Bush, Clinton, Bush, Clinton, nigga, Bush, Clinton, Bush.
That's the tune for the album, man.
Yeah, well. So what is this? The hate speech show?
Hey, just because I said Clinton, it's no need. Right? Just
Every
because I
Wait
said
show
wait
is
until
the
the
hate
Phoenician hears this. His
What?
superiors are going to hear from him on this
what
one.
can we say?
Bring those
Celebrating-
boas in.
We're
He's
celebrating the
listening
fact
right
I know.
that
From out in the parking lot.
we're celebrating right now the fact
Oh.
that Clinton's records, his top secret, what was it, the records from his impeachment have been made. People through, what was it that happened?
Just a lot of the stuff came out about. Remember when they?
Yeah, some diary. Somebody wrote a diary or something that came out. And there was a lot of like,
Yeah, people FIO'd stuff now that they can.
yeah.
You know.
There's shit about like some of the
Clinton raping
sexual
people-
advances
raping people
were
at
actually
house, right?
full-blown rape.
Rape just
Yeah,
kept
yeah,
going.
yeah.
And this plays right in really
This stuff,
nicely
like,
with Vince
that's what
Foster
you were
and
saying
all
earlier.
the photographs and all that stuff to just a magnificent couple of fucking satanic pigs. Clinton and his wife, the two pigs of the century. Two satanic motherfucking pigs.
Wait a few more years. The Spawn will be ready to run.
Spawn.
Spawn. Run?
Daughter.
Spawning run? Oh.
That's probably the one who's
Spawn.
going to be the president, right?
The Spawn shall run.
So sad.
That sounds like a good title for an album. And the Spawn shall run. Like what was the name of the band?
What band? Oh, the Cloud.
No, the Drone something. Yeah, I got it earlier in the show. Kind of forgot what I heard earlier in the show.
We just did the intro.
I know. We fell into those characters for a minute.
Because you know what? That's the essence of who we are. That's the best intro I ever heard. Dumbest, but the best. So sometimes the best don't have to be that intelligent or like polished and well produced. It just has to fit.
Well, I
Makes
thought that was
sense.
always our appeal, was that we weren't polished and well produced.
I think our other appeal is like we're like the only ones who know what we're talking about. I don't think anybody follows any of this too.
And remember, I was going to do a music show. Make it feel
He
good.
heard guest at the junction. Well, that's Uncle Joe. He's moving kind of slow at the junction. Oh, junction, hey! Pretty good.
Just try to play the mandolin part for you there.
Hey, Fairways presentation.
This has been the best part of my day so far.
Me too.
Part
Thinking about Petticoat Junction. That's part.
Well, no. I think it was the growing of the butt thing. You know what? You know,
Help them know that
I don't
the universe is
Someone's got to get a
evolving.
hold of her because I got a feeling that if you water those butts,
You know what I think we are?
it's because people take pictures of it all the time. It keeps growing. If
has
they
like
would
got an
stop,
ego.
something
A
like
butt
that.
with an ego.
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
What do you think?
I think, yeah. You know,
But it's
the
got
they
mind
used
of
to say
its
if he
own.
has a bigger ego, his head would go through that door. Well, obviously that thought has
Right.
such a big ego that someday
Right,
it ain't
someday
walking
Kim
through
Kardashian
that
ain't
door.
walking through the door.
It ain't happening.
You know,
Evolution is still happening. We still live in a miracle.
Yeah, I think Darwin was correct, especially about her butt. I think.
during this conversation, I just had an epiphany, man.
Oh, no.
I think my
Yeah.
IQ went up 2 points during this
Just
show.
because of the growth
Because of the
butt?
show. The growth of the ass,
That's
the show,
the power of Kim
everything.
Kardashian's butt.
That's
As much
why
as
I
we-
call us high informational voters, because we know about the butt growth and how long it takes for a butt to grow and the possible ego involved here in a butt.
But like
Well,
I
it has a
said,
lot to do with like the cycle of the sun. When it goes, then it,
Oh,
like,
no.
it
Now I'm
expands,
learning something.
Then it contracts,
All right.
and then it goes into another hole, becomes a red dwarf or something.
Did you say another hole like a black hole?
Right, like a black hole. So it's very
Okay,
much,
okay.
it's like the same thing. It's like the whole universe.
Let me ask you a question. If you went up and you just like the sun, you slapped it, right? Would it have a
Can
red
that actually
tinge to
fall?
it after? Would there be like a red tinge to it, like a glow?
Yeah.
You know?
First of
Well, let's say if you poured oil on it, what would happen to it? Where would the oil go through? Like a crack area? There's a crack there? Because I know there's a black hole there because I've read some of the science magazines.
but has the
We're
rest?
getting
I am a
into-
scientific
We're
American.
getting into uncharted
Has the rest of her
territory.
got larger? Or is this a pear thing?
Huh?
Pear-shaped thing?
Oh, no.
No, the rest of her.
I would call
massive,
this is apple ass, maybe even worse possible.
Pumpkin?
We're going pumpkin, maybe.
too. We're going.
We might have to go
ass.
pumpkin on you.
It knows.
I seen some girls walk by the front out of here that are double pumpkin.
Double P.
I love them.
I'm thinking double P too with the way we
With
were.
her?
Well, the People magazine shot from today. I thought it
That was
double.
still a big single.
That was single.
We ought to do that, man. We ought to start an ass registering scale based on fruit.
Why not we do
How
it
about all the different
Zuckerberg Day?
shapes?
The A's. The
Why not we
double
get
A's.
Zuckerberg? Ass book. Ass book.
Ass
Make
book.
Kim Kardashian sell it. I'm sure it'll work.
Yes.
You know, and then after we make billions, we can look at all our
Crotch
users
book
and
is
go,
going way too far.
Hey, you know something?
Ass book.
Speaking of ass book, you know I have an unused Facebook page I created called United Douchebags.
really?
I could use that to promote the show.
Doesn't Kim Kardashian have an ass app? You can get
She's got apps. I'm sure she does.
ass apps.
Off.
They'll watch chart the growth of her ass.
So we go to the app store, and we
Just
go.
Put an ass app in.
We're right on the.
Kardashian ass.
No. I'm gonna do better
Well,
than
where the
that.
ass will blow.
You're going to get an ass app, and it's going to keep track of J-Lo's ass.
Yeah.
um,
It's inevitable.
You know, like all the important asses. J-Lo and Kim Kardashian, and who else?
I'm
You got
just.
it?
I just typed Kardashian.
Does it have an ass out?
There are 60 apps for Kardashian.
They have one.
They
with
have
just
a
Hollywood?
family app. They have My Girl Kim Kardashian, which is a free
For ass
game.
calls.
Fabulous.
They have a dating sim for Kim Kardashian.
Simulated dating.
Follow Kim Kardashian.
Wow.
Kim Facts and Kim's Trivia, you have to pay for that one. The official Kim Kardashian app, you have to
She
pay
has
$2.
She really has.
The Fit in Your
Kim
Jeans,
Car app.
the Celebrity Trivia Quiz, Kim Kardashian Hot Celebrity, Kimye Dash, Kim versus Kanye, it's a game.
See, that's the way to do it.
Celebrity Icon Quiz,
Naked.
Fit in Your Jeans, but Kim Kardashian butt blasting.
Thank you.
I
Well,
feel
let's
better
do
about
it.
my
The
world
Kim
now.
Kardashian photo
Let's
booth,
download.
Kim Kardashian wallpapers, the Kim Kardashian fan app, watch celebrity TV, Kim Kardashian pie in your face game,
What's her
Kim
claim to fame?
Kardashian
What did she
quiz
do?
and hottest pics.
Grow an
Nothing.
ass? That's it.
No, because her father was who he was and her mother.
Yeah, but that's not her.
The guy died. The mother married Bruce Jenner. They got a reality TV gig.
Oh.
Bruce Jenner had horrible fucking plastic surgery. He looks like a plastic, like them plastic action figures
He looks
they
like a
used to make.
transsexual.
Here's a morph game. Morph yourself into Kim Kardashian. Here's a game, a thing called Booty
Yeah,
Pop.
can you believe that?
So let's see. I bet you if I
Because
type acid.
Kardashian's mom married Bruce Jenner,
Well,
they made that into a
it started
reality
with
show.
the father. The father put the name
No,
National.
I can't even believe that.
There's 176 ass apps. Poop Analyzer, that's free.
Yeah, but any Kardashian analyzers?
500 movie apps. Butt Shrinker. App Smart. Blockbuster Movie Quiz. Atomic Shadow. Sexy Dice. Kick Ass 2. Sexy Dice. Brazilian Butt. Big Ass Fans. Oh, it's Big Ass Fans. So now we will do the final goal here. Kardashian ass. No results for Kardashian ass. That's a shame. Well, see, I was trying to veer us into a music show to lift Steve's spirits anyways. And we kind of help him do that, but we're doing it in a different way.
Just thinking about Kim Kardashian.
Anyway, when I go back to stuff that doesn't matter, like the Ukraine, World War III and stuff.
Well,
I don't know, while we're checking the news.
so Putin did threaten.
Yeah, there was just reports of that. Nobody's saying, I'm checking other news sources.
Well, he once
now.
said something. What did he say?
It's okay to break protesters' legs. Who's going to do anything about it?
Is that what he said?
Yeah. Well, someone in the Kremlin said that.
Good.
They found
See,
some
this is
tiny
cancer to
crystal,
him.
the oldest
To
pot.
him, this is like communism coming back at him. But it's a sicker kind of communism. Now it's the new world order of the United States of America, UN communism. It's kind of with China behind the whole fucking thing as the mold, the model for this fucking thing that's coming after him. And he's not going to fucking give in because they already been through communism. They already know what that's like. I hope he kicks fucking ass. He takes no fucking names, no fucking prisoners. Who gives a flying fuck? Just show the world what it's like. Real war.
Here's
Real
the problem,
war is
though.
no fucking political thing. You go in after a fucking objective and you just fucking make that objective happen.
Yeah, but
It's
here's
just-
the problem. It got touched off into a nuclear war.
So what?
Well, then he's going to lose in the end.
Do you
No, then everybody loses.
Well, everybody's going to lose in the end, but what's going to happen is America's going to fight out this third or fourth generation laser weapons how it aimed at everything in the sky.
You know what I'm reading now? The
Good.
U.S.
Let 'em
Naval
test it
Chief
out.
says pollution is the best defense against laser weapons. Yeah. But the other thing I was just reading that made me chuckle a little bit was Gary Kasparov, the chess guy. He says, I'd still be a Soviet citizen if Obama had been president then instead of Reagan.
You were print on this, did you see? People magazine.
Nah, I'm reading Drudge. Reading Drudge. Looking for shit about the Ukraine, but they're burying it up. Everybody's burying it
They
up.
buried fucking Edward Snowden.
Yeah.
He's all buried
Let's
up.
see. Game's
I'm an
over.
American moron. All they know is
He
that
runs to Russia.
Nah, you know what I heard? Some hackers put up his passport all over some website. They shut it down by just flooding it with images of his passport.
Some hacker did. So
Yeah.
who's
Now the
looking?
games are over. Western governments are concerned. Putin's going to act.
gonna what?
Yeah. Now that the Olympics are over.
They're fair what?
He's just waiting for the flame to get extinguished so
Yeah.
he could light another one.
He hasn't spoken in public all about Yanukovych being ousted, but the guy that's in there now, Kisilov, is a Putin loyalist who's had the president's trust. He will soon take over a media organization intended to polish Russia's image. Western leaders are concerned
The guy that
Russia...
took over Ukraine is a Putin man. So he did it. He did it.
No, I think that's somebody else. I think I'm misinformed. I don't know who Kisilov is. Let me backtrack and see who Kisilov is. Oh no, he was the presenter of... one of the presenters at the Olympics. Ukraine is one step from a split and probably already beyond the threshold of civil war. No, nobody's saying anything, but Western leaders are afraid that Putin is worried about losing influence in the Ukraine.
You don't want to lose.
Yeah, it's the cradle of Russian civilization.
Right. Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, and it's also the breadbasket for that area. They make all of the, they grow all this. China wants the red land from here. Basically, he'll lose.
Susan Rice,
To the EU,
the
he's
National
not gonna-
Security Advisor, said it would be a mistake for Russia to send troops.
Oh, now
A grave mistake.
I'm sure that
Yeah.
they're shaking
Guess
their
what?
boots from that.
Guess what?
Lying. She lied to the American people. What would make them think she wouldn't lie to the Russians? They're criminals.
Doesn't matter. We've already capitulated in Syria against the Russians. Now
We're always
No,
against
sir, we weren't going against the Russians in
the
Syria.
Russians were back in the Syria.
Well, of course they were, because the Al Qaeda was the same one we supposedly fought was fighting the Syrians. Why wouldn't we be on the Syrian side from Al Qaeda? But no, we train them, lie to our people.
Exactly.
So anyway, the butt was growing.
It's still growing as we speak. So we only have so much time. That's the point of all this.
We only have some.
Only so much time.
Or something gets
Well, her butt will get too big.
Yeah. Big.
Shut down the
Little
way.
blow, the whole.
All right.
No, it doesn't.
You had your Britney Spears. I got Kim Kardashian. I don't want no more Kim Kardashian.
Okay. I get that. I
You're
do.
subfuculating up my
Get
mind.
that. I so get that. I just can't take it.
Well, it's the power.
The power of her ass.
Her immense.
It's so big it has its own gravitational pull.
Yes.
It sucks
the
you
point.
into it.
It does. Moving
I think
toward
it's
it.
funny. There's no way to
Oh,
stop it.
he's shot around it.
If it keeps going, it's like
She's her own planet.
it's like
It's like our own planet.
accelerators here. It will just never stop. It will just keep going. It's like a nuclear explosion with a chain reaction. Will
See,
just
that's
keep-
what we.
will just keep
That's
going
what her
forever.
goal is: to become from a nobody to a reality TV star to being. I'll tell you the truth. My whole life, I've admired celebrities who could become celebrities without doing anything. Just you're famous for being yourself.
Pendulum.
You know, yeah. Well, what the fuck did Charles Nelson Riley ever do? Right?
Nothing.
Yet he was the fucking, him and Paul Lynde were the, at least Paul Lynde did a few things. Charlie Weaver, who the fuck was he?
Who I heard was gay the other day? I couldn't believe it, but Mayor Koch.
Oh yeah, I
Was he
heard
gay?
that. Nah, I don't think so.
Wasn't he?
I don't know.
I try never, ever
Like
to
he was
think
a-
about that.
Oh, why? Why?
I could go through my lifetime very nicely without ever having to contemplate whether Mayor fucking Koch is gay.
You know, whenever you gotta think about, whenever your mind wanders in that direction, if you wonder if somebody's gay, just think about the physical act of being gay. Man,
Even worse than that, think about
Hate speech.
Nah, that sends my mind. It's like I hit a wall and bounce off it and go exactly in the opposite direction.
Don't you ever talk to children that way?
It's what I taught my boys. If you ever wonder if you're gay, think about the physical act.
You know that
of it.
band Pussy Riot?
If you can stomach it,
That they
then
got
you might
arrested
be.
in Russia. Well, they showed them outside. They were in front of the Olympic thing, you know.
Yeah.
And they had these, I guess they're some kind of police called Kashikan police or stuff. They were police force or security force around the Olympics. And you know, they set their guitars and and she's out there singing. All of a sudden, these guys with police uniforms show up, and guess what? They got whips. They got whips. They started whipping them. It was like, wow. And then they took the guitar, they threw it in the barrel. They had this on the video. I saw that video.
Whips.
Oh, she got pinched again?
This was during about a week or so ago during the Olympics.
Yeah.
Pussy Riot. They got arrested in Russia. I think they let them out of jail.
She gets.
All right.
This is her second time.
Yeah.
So these are the police that show
Yeah,
with whips.
they showed up with whips.
I love that.
They're very.
I love that.
They're very
stopped it
outspoken
right away.
about oppression and lack of human rights.
They're wrong.
in
okay?
Russia.
They're fucking wrong. And they could go to America if they want to talk that way.
But they didn't arrest them. They just whipped them and then
Good.
made them leave.
Good.
Well, the two of them
I
just
love
spent like 2 years in jail.
I know. I can't believe you're out doing that again.
Whipping. Public. Whipping. I love it.
See, this one's easy to call up.
What are you talking about?
You call up Pussy Riot and you get the entire story all over the internet. It's everywhere.
Hey, fuck her. She wants to be a sick, fucking pornographic, Satan-worshipping fucking dyke. Come to the United States of America and enjoy yourself. But don't spoil Russia.
Yeah.
You know, leave Russia alone.
Yeah,
we want a
don't
place to
spoil
go
Russia.
where people
New one.
are
6
still-
hours ago, they were detained with about 200 other people in a protest in Moscow.
Excellent. And send them over here.
They're a punk band.
They'll be happy.
Yeah, they were pumped.
Send them to
So
Los
they have their
Angeles.
video of them getting whipped at the Olympics and all.
Look at this is the
I
leader.
love that.
This is the leader of the
It's like
group.
that.
They're a,
People should go to confession every week.
they're a feminist
If you
punk
show up
band.
somewhere and you make all kinds of shitty music, you should be whipped by law enforcement. That world makes more sense to me than this world.
Nadezhda
Okay?
Nadezhda Tolokonikova.
I fucked her.
What happened?
Look at her, she's beautiful.
Fucked her. I'm telling you.
She's
I
beautiful.
think Howard Carson's on the web.
She has to stay in jail because she hasn't repented for her hooligan ways.
See, she's so good looking, they love arresting her, letting her out again. Then arresting her again and letting her out again.
Whipping her.
She's safe. She's safe. That was the captain. That was the fucking police captain said, well, I get my whip this time.
See, that's the 3 girls in the band.
Oh, they're cute. They're like cute little lesbians.
She's the leader, Tom?
Yeah.
The big-
Yeah, she's the
Do they
singer.
have the
and
video
top
of them
player.
being whipped at the Olympics?
I don't know. That's
Could
what
you please find
we'll
it?
do next.
Yeah, probably whipped at Olympics.
Ouch!
Here's photos. We'll go with this one. We'll go with this one where she's down on the ground. Yeah, bear in mind I'm having trouble with the machine. There it is.
We
Casa.
whip you again. We whip you.
Look at every.
We whip you more. You know, the chicken that thinks she likes it. Well, you think she's on the That's straight out brutality. Straight out brutality.
It did look as though they were being hit with whips and potentially batons as well by the police. They were, some of them were arrested yesterday, had been released, and we are told that some of the ladies that you saw there were the ones that had been arrested yesterday, went back again today, and you saw what happened as a result. The police were less than pleased to see them.
Well, they showed him walking out of there. I don't think they got arrested that day. They just told them to get out of there. They don't want to make a scene. There was tourists all around, so they just whipped them.
Whipped in, pepper sprayed, according to this one.
And pepper spray.
That's a New Zealand one. See? So we've covered the world topics.
So, ending with Pussy Riot. Is that good?
They didn't have any guitars.
You didn't see the whole video?
Yeah.
Did you see? You
The
didn't see them
they
playing?
didn't show them.
They didn't show them for some reason, because I saw the whole video where they were playing and she was singing and stuff, and then they show the cops walking up. You know?
Here, this one's a lot longer. This one's 8
Just let me
minutes.
see them play for a little bit so we can figure out if they're innocent or guilty.
They're like setting up their gear and stuff.
They're punks.
They're punk rock.
I don't care what they are.
Не дают Олимпиаду нормально проводить.
Scumbags.
Люди нормально чем занимаются? Какая вам разница? Сейчас на стадионе.
В стране живу еще, блядь,
This is
понял?
my country. You
Я в своей стране
understand?
живу, понял?
А вы с Америки
Понятно,
проехали,
блядь.
садились только вчера тут в Сочи.
You came from America yesterday. You think you know you own the place. Get the fuck out. I like them.
Pussy, Pussy Riot
Members
gets
of Pussy
whipped.
Riot showed up in Sochi, where Russia is hosting the Winter Olympics, to record a new protest song. Nadya Telekonova and Masha Alyosina and a handful of other members of the group headed out of a cafe towards the Sochi seaport
This is
to
it.
tape
This is the one I saw.
This happened.
Men straight protest. Men straight.
American horse detained.
Weren't you whipping for something like
Listen, we will teach you how to obey. Putin will teach you how to love the motherland. Putin will teach you how to love the motherland.
Cossacks, a
Good.
paramilitary force
Good. You
supported
better
by the
fucking
government.
love it.
See, look at the guitar in the back. They grabbed the guitars.
Putin will teach you. Sure, Putin will teach you how to love your motherland.
Get out of America here, he
We
said.
ask you nicely.
Police were there too. They allowed the mini pogrom to continue for about 10 minutes without intervening.
They must have said something that pissed them off.
You know what I think they were originally nailed for? For protesting against the lack of gay rights in Russia.
So the girls from Pussy Riot and a guy who was taking part in a performance that they were trying to do, they just walked out of a restaurant, walked up to a big sign that said Sochi on it, started putting their masks on, and a bunch of Cossacks came out of nowhere and just started beating them up. Somebody sprayed pepper spray, they got their whips out. It was pretty serious. Now the police have showed up, but the police are refusing to arrest anybody who was involved in beating them
I
up.
don't know what a Kozak is.
Alright. Well, this doesn't provide for good radio to listen to some broad babbling in a language nobody understands except me partially. The gist of the riot was the gist of the deal was they're protesters, they've been pinched repeatedly.
Well, they're an act. They're a music.
So anyway, I didn't know what a Cossack was. I thought it was a security person, but it's not.
Not really.
They're somebody in their culture?
They're rotor.
No, they're
The Cossacks are like cowboys.
like a security force higher up than the local police.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean,
I like seeing them get rid of
just if I would just saw the video somebody showed me, I think they were being whipped because they sucked. So that
Kind of.
Why are you whipping them?
I'm sure they said a few things.
No, if I'd whip them, I'd certainly kind of make them stop somehow. Whatever I could do.
I thought it was great that it really showed compassion.
Stop singing, they'll do whatever
Yeah.
you want. You want
When
to
you're
love
that,
sex, okay,
when
we
you're
like
that
them.
bad
Get
that
out
they
of here.
come and whip you, you know. But it was nice to see them get whipped because it's nice to see modern kids get whipped because they have no idea about the realities of life. They don't know what it feels like to get punched in the gut by somebody who's weighs a couple of 250 pounds. You might not breathe again for a minute. You They don't know this stuff. All children should be whipped, for Christ's sake. They all want to know what it feels like to be whipped, because then you know, fuck, why don't I take being good seriously? Why don't I think seriously about being good? Because I don't want to ever get fucking whipped again. Well, you got to get whipped a couple times. You really do. I thought it was fantastic. Coolest thing I've seen.
I can't say enough about it. You know, it almost satisfies my.
I think we have this show.
It satisfies my desire to have people go to confession.
You know,
To have people go to confession every week again.
Remember the
like they
last
used
show
to.
that he ended? This is not dramatic, but this was definitely.
It's still poignant.
It's going to make, I think, the best of it.
Well, that's the point.
I heard a few statements.
Well, I really
Gonna make
enjoyed
the
watching those kids get whipped. I enjoyed the hell out of it. It was perfect poetic karma
say about
to watch stupid young bitches who suck musically sing about whatever, their vaginas or their menstrual cycle, whatever, you know, how it applies to the world. It's good to see them get whipped because they deserve to be whipped for the smugness and arrogance to think that their opinion at this stupid young age should be valid, like and accepted by everyone, that you should be protected and put on a pedestal so that you can spout your fucking meaningless babble. Better to get whipped, learn the lesson early. Great to watch kids of that generation get whipped. All kids of that age.
Now, you want to really boil that down, though.
I like watching kids
What you're
get whipped.
looking at is the Russian government resisting the emasculation of the Russian
Goddamn
man.
right they are.
Right?
They ain't going for
The
it.
feminists, they're not putting up with them.
That's
The gay
right.
rights people, they're not
Fuck 'em.
putting up with them. You know, one of the things I heard, one of the big complaints about the setup at the Olympics,
It's too gay.
there was a there was a
Wasn't gay
bare-chested,
enough.
in every hotel room there was a bare-chested photo of Putin out in the woods.
Really?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, you know how he's
Fuck
all
yes.
buff and shit?
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Good for him.
And a lot of people felt really uncomfortable
Good.
with that.
But not the gay guys. If you ask me, he was kind of catering to
kinda
more of the
gay.
gay crowd.
Really?
Yeah, but
For all his rhetoric.
Right.
He's sending a silent message here.
okay, so now
Look at my nipples.
now it
My
boils
nipples are
down.
red.
Now it boils down to an issue of civil rights for all people or maintaining a culture.
Maintaining a culture.
You gotta take your shirt off to do that?
Yeah.
Leave your pants on.
He's a Native American. He gets to do it.
Be careful not to idolize the Antichrist, man.
Be careful.
He's very
Be careful not to
charismatic.
love the whip
Who, Putin?
Yeah.
too much.
The Antichrist? Putin is the
One of them.
anti-Antichrist.
Nah.
He's the
He's the
anti-Rodman.
hope of the world.
Nah,
Nostradamus, Edgar Cayce
There's
claims
Rodman,
him
there's
as the
the
hope
anti-Rodman.
of the world. He's known as the hope of the world.
Nah, they're
oh,
all
yes,
wrong.
he is.
They're all
Because his society is resisting the drugged-down brainwashing and the genetic manipulation that's happened to our family.
His society is subject to all of that, but
No, they're resisting it.
Under his
he's maintaining.
He's ready to go and start a
control.
third world war because the bees are being killed by our GMOs, okay? He's ready to go into a third world war because of that, and this was 3 years ago. He's the only one resisting. He's the only superpower who's resisting. China don't give a fuck about how much they pollute, what they
No,
do.
China
They'll
don't.
people
China.
and make them into hamburger and sell them back to you as 100% beef. You see little faces in there. Hey, that looks like an Italian goat. No, they all look that way. It's a goat.
Not an Italian goat, it's a Chinese burger.
It's a Chinese burger. So, in other words, he's still clinging on to a natural life. He wants fucking guys to fuck chicks. He wants chicks to want to get fucked by guys. He wants his population to increase. He does not want a whole population of useless homosexuals that sit around, do drugs, drink fucking coffee at Starbucks, and talk about the rest of the world as if nature is wrong and they're right. It's a useless population. Hundreds of millions of people. Why do you think they built the FEMA camps? For who? Ultimately, it doesn't matter what your religious beliefs are. It's how much money you're bringing in, what you do, and if you can be sustained or not.
all the useless people who sit around a fucking screen all day, your hamburger. That's what the FEMA camps are for. You, because you produce nothing, you do nothing. You don't do anything that builds anything, and therefore your life is useless. You're a human resource. All of the people of the United States, all of you sitting in your houses, all of you sitting at your stupid jobs where you're pushing a fucking pencil, or you're on a fucking screen, doing this, putting that in that file, you're useless. You have no real value. But your life has been written off already. You're part of the human resources that are to be destroyed. But they can rescue from that by not caring about Kim Kardashian's growing ass, or, you know, all those other bullshit things that they allow to cloud their minds, and focus on the real issues, which is the general loss of their way of life, the general loss, actually, of man as a natural animal. Through political, they don't have time. They don't
through
have
political
space.
correctness, you're destroying the male and the female dichotomy
by design in the United States of America, because homosexuality keeps the population down. So this has been a government program for a long time. Homosexuality is a form of autism. It's just one of the autisms that they give you, and if they can make chicks not want to mate, make guys not want to mate, it keeps the population down. They did it by manipulating the genes. That's why all the kids are coming out now, and they're not growing up. Oh, that too. That too, but it's
that gene
chemical.
has the potential for everyone. But when you grow up solid, so to speak, and you know the role of a man and a woman in society. Now, one of the things I will point out, we're getting deep here, but it's easier for guys to relate to guys. Shit. And some guys who are weak take that to the next level, and that relation, you know, you and I can relate together better than you and me and another. You know, if there's a woman in the room, the conversation changes. Some people who get confused, shit clouded up in their mind, bring that to the next level of love. And again, I always go back to, yeah, but think of the physical ramifications, man.
Ramifications.
For MSNBC. Yeah. Like I said, think of the physical.
Anyway, believe it or not, I'm hungry.
I'm stupid.
Yeah, we switched roles today.
Yeah. He's
Axe
hungry,
Man,
I'm stupid.
come by.
He's Axe Man.
And T-Man.
Yep, sorry it's been so long since the last one.
Us on Facebook with all our friends from, where?
I don't know, I can promise you the NSA will have this by the end of the week, so just
It's in the cloud, just check it out.
They're mixing it right now.
We'll be traveling, Tom. We'll be back down to the cloud.
The Phoenicians over there beaming it right across.
We're being beamed now.
We're going to have all our data backed up to one safe place in the cloud.
Yay!
That's what a man's man will do
That's
today.
what a man does.
He backs up to the
Backs
cloud.
up the data.
You back up to that cloud, you get
So-
everything in that cloud.
In the cloud.
Back right up to the cloud.
Alright,
Unload everything.
someday if we get lucky, we'll be in the cloud too. In the meantime,
God bless Putin.
see you in the cloud,
Yeah.
Antichrist.
Anyway, I guess this is the end of It's High Time We Talked.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
We'll see you next show. Have a nice day.
Whenever.
Play our outro song here. This is where the
Okay.
outro song goes.
Well, what are we going to put?